So I am going to be talking about membership guidelines, but just when Heike said a sense of ownership, it kind of reminded me of something. When I first, we graduated the same year in 2010 from Asmara College of Health Sciences, and I came here in 2013 and started working in a community pharmacy. And the next day of when I got into this country, my brother came and gave me this big book of certification training book for pharmacy technicians. And he said, this book is going to help you find your way. So right the next day, I started this book to become a certified pharmacy technician, which I did in 3 months after that. So why I'm bringing this up is when you first come here, and some of us might have come just because we had got a scholarship for a graduate school, but I did not have anything coming here. I had no idea what I wanted to be, like which path of pharmacy I was going to take. But when he gave me that book, he kind of gave me some kind of direction. So I'm grateful to date to have that mentor when I first got here. And moving forward, when I was getting ready for to get the pharmacy licensing exam, the NAPLEX, Heikel was my study buddy. So we were on the phone almost every day for a whole year studying that book. And I can frankly say, if it wasn't for her, if it wasn't for that collaboration, then we wouldn't have made it through. And coming from Asmara, everything you learn there is more like production oriented. And here, more than 70% of the exam is clinical, which was really tough to beat for us. So that collaboration helped a lot. So when she called and said, I'm thinking of EriPCo, the first thing that came to my mind was these two things. One, everybody needs that mentor that gives you a direction. Two, everybody needs to collaborate with someone that has either the same background, the same culture, a sense that gives you a sense of belonging, which I found with her. So I was like, oh, you're giving me a platform to do this for other people? Sign me up. So I want everyone here to have that sense of feeling. When you're coming here, come with an agenda. It could be big, it could be little, it could be like, oh, when I first came here, if someone had found me somewhere that I could have done an internship, my path would have been easier. So you're coming here and we can provide a platform where people can easily find mentors or where they can do their internship. And if you're thinking, oh, my grandmother was taking her Tylenol for a week thinking it was her blood pressure medication because no one could explain that to her in her language. You know what? We could collaborate with doctors and have them make a label in our own language. Why not? So come to this organization with small or a big agenda, and we together can make it a reality. With that being said, how do you come to the organization and how do you become a member? And let's try to look at that. So we have basic membership guidelines. We're generally divided into voting members and non-voting members. So to be a voting member, one must be an active participant and contributing. This generally means you just have to, for example, if it is providing materials to be published, if you find any information that you think is beneficial to any pharmacist, pharmacy students, or the general public, then you can bring it forward to the organization. And the second one, you pay an annual fee of $100. And just keep in mind, this is once a year. And if you're honest yourselves, if you look into that jacket you've never worn for a year, you'll find some $10 in there. And just walking by, you'll find $1 lying somewhere. If you just collect this, you'll come up with $100 in less than 3 months. So we can all do this. And we have biannual meetings twice a year. So just to go over the proposals that we are working on, or just to have plans for the coming 6 months. So we have a platform where we discuss this twice a year. So every member must attend these meetings. And fourth, and most importantly, everyone should agree to abide by the code of conduct, which we will be sharing with all of you at the end. And this is just a general guidelines which you expect of every nonprofit organization. We're saying we're non-sectorial, non-religious kind of organizations. So anyone with this kind of agendas, any character behaviors with such discrimination will not be tolerated. So this kind of code of conduct, every member should abide by. And the perks of being a voting member is, one, you have the right to vote for board of directors and officers, and all you need to be is just a member of the organization for 6 months. Or you can also, if you want, you can be voted to be a board of director or officer. The only additional thing you need for this is to be a member of one of the committees mentioned for 6 months. And the second part is a non-voting member. And the only difference between basically the voting and the non-voting members is the non-voting members do not have to pay that $100 membership fee. Besides that, they're still required to abide by the code of conduct. They're still expected to participate in the organization, like we said, either presenting materials or helping with any of the committees projects that is taking place at the moment. They're not required to be a member of the committees. It's just by choice. And they only thing is, since they're not members, they don't have a right to vote for board of directors or officers, nor could they be voted. And they can, if they want to, they can attend the general meetings that take place biannually. As most of you already know, we have a Facebook community most of us are a member of. This is just to share daily informations, daily motivations, or keep each other up to date. Or if there is any meeting upcoming, just the information we share there. This is we have a closed group for just the pharmacist, and there is also another one, whatever is not only pertinent to pharmacists is shared on this platform, which if we think the general public could benefit from it. So I think most of us are already a member of this Facebook groups. So, but this, you don't necessarily have to be part of. It's not necessarily part of the organization. Every Eritrean pharmacist can be a member of this Facebook groups. With that, I come to the end of my presentation about the membership. If you have any questions, save it for later. And next topic will be explained by Ariam.
Hi, everybody. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, hi again. So, again, my name is Ariam. I am a pharmacist. I graduated from the School of Pharmacy, University of Asmara, and then I worked as a graduate assistant for 2 years. And then I came here for graduate school to do my master's in biochemistry, biophysics, and molecular science. After which I did my pharmacy licensing and then got licensed here in the US and started practicing pharmacy here in Oregon. To just echo a little bit of what Heikel and Sambright were saying, I too had challenges coming here, going to graduate school, and also getting licensed in the US, mainly because there is the culture shock, right? And then lack of connections or network, and not being able to get the right information at the right time could definitely get on your way. And that's what actually happened to me too. It wasn't easy, it was very tough. Getting licensed especially was very tough, because if you are from a foreign graduate, obviously people don't know the details on foreign graduates and how they could get licensed in some states. So it could be a hurdle, you know. I felt that stick, but now luckily, thankfully, I'm licensed in working as a pharmacist here. And this is what came up in our discussions when EriPCo, when Heikel opened that Facebook page, we got together and we were sharing a lot of things. And some of the things that we shared were, well, this is the challenge I got. Okay, some of us went to graduate school and some of us, you know, went ahead to finish PhD like Selam. And some of us did our registration as a pharmacist. And all of us did have some struggles to share, right? And so this is how EriPCo was born. And we're excited to like help out other young people who are coming to this country, either be it in mentorship and many other ways that was already explained here. In any case, we started working and EriPCo was born, and we're happy to, you know, go out there, help people, be mentors to people. And we just, you know, we wish that you guys can engage more and benefit from all what we have to offer. With that being said, I'll go ahead and go to my today's presentation regarding EriPCo committees and the vacancies that we have so far. So EriPCo has 5 committees as of now. It's the one is the Internal Affairs and Membership Committee, Communications and Public Relations Committee, Fundraising and Marketing, Finance and Audit, and final Research and Documentation Committee. I'll talk about the responsibilities of each committee one by one. So if we start with Internal Affairs and Membership Committee, this committee will be responsible for handling all internal and operational issues of the organization, which is related to finances, human resources, and membership. Currently, this is being chaired by Dr. Selam. And then we have also the Communications and Public Relations Committee. This committee will be responsible for communication that has to do with the public. It's going to oversee all newsletters, official communications, social media platforms, everything that has to do with the public will go under this committee. And the current chair is Selamawit. And then the third committee that we have is Fundraising and Marketing Committee. This is also going to be working on curating fundraising plans for the organization, and also finding opportunities for public relations and increasing our fundraising efforts. It would also provide reports in regards to the organization's fundraising plans. As of now, this committee does not have a chair, so we're looking for one. If you're interested, you are welcome to apply. The last committee that we have is the Research and Documentation Committee. This committee is mostly going to be monitoring and overseeing the research and documentation goals, strategies, and measures of the company. It will be working on drafting new documentation or maybe revising documentation that needs reviewing, working on frequently asked questions. And then it has also a research component. So this research component, as of now, it would be working on recognizing opportunities for emerging trends and activities that are critical for the success of the organization. It will also have translate and help education materials for the public go under the research unit. But again, as a very, very long-term plan of the committee or the organization, we plan to have an organizational journal where we could have members publish research articles, be it from Eritrea or really from anywhere. Yeah, to publish on the paper. But again, this is going to be a very long-term plan. Again, so this research and documentation committee is still morphing. It is still taking shape, but for now, this is what we have. And currently it doesn't have any chair. So if you are interested in applying for these two openings that we have for the fundraising and marketing committee and research and documentation committee, we encourage you to apply and send your resume to info@eripco.org. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask us or send us private messages on Facebook as well. But if you have any questions on this presentation, you can also ask later. Thank you for listening. So I'll pass the mic to Abnet. No, Salam. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Salam. Let me start sharing my screen. So you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So hi, this is Salam, and I am the Vice President and co-founder of EriPCo. So I graduated from University of Asmara in 2007 with my bachelor's degree in pharmacy, and graduated from Auburn University with my PhD in chemistry and biochemistry. And currently I'm working for the state of Alabama in the Department of Agriculture and Industries as a chemist. So adding to why EriPCo is very important to me. So starting applying to graduate school, it's really hard to figure out how, it doesn't matter where you're applying, be it in Europe or in the US or Canada. It's getting the information and knowing where to apply, which schools to aim. And they have a saying here, your easy entry schools, the harder schools, you really have no idea which schools are easy to, like you have the opportunity to be accepted, which are going to be hard, how you figure out where to spend your money. And then the money for applying to graduate school, I was lucky, my sisters were paying for me, but still it was really expensive. And I know people who could not afford it, but they deserve to go to graduate school. And then coming to the US, having the ability to do my graduate work and also having the opportunity to get licensed, I was so conflicted. I didn't know which route to take. It took me like 3 years to finally decide, okay, I'm going to get my PhD. This is the route that I'm going to take. And if I can get my license to practice pharmacy eventually, good and well. But I know if I do my PhD, there are, in chemistry or biochemistry, there are job opportunities that I can use both my pharmacy background and the education that I'm getting. So if you can find someone to provide you with the information where, okay, if you go get your, go finish your graduate work, and these are the job opportunities you will have. But if you decide to just muster out and then get your license to practice pharmacy, these are the options you have, and these are the hardships you have. If you have a mentor or anyone who can give you all those pros and cons of taking whichever route you take, I cannot tell you how much time you save. EriPCo is that for me. I want others to have that opportunity. I want others to have the opportunity to have access to someone who has gone through a certain path. And having all those information, anyone who is new, who is a new graduate of pharmacy school from wherever it is, or they're trying to go to pharmacy school, or they're trying to go to graduate school, before they make those decisions, they know what they can expect after 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years. So I feel EriPCo would be able to do that. And that could be done if everybody every Eritrean who has a pharmacy degree, regardless of where they are now, what they are doing now, is actively. And I wish everyone who's in this meeting would be inspired enough to be part of EriPCo and active member of EriPCo. So what I'm going to talk about is our plan for the next 6 months of 2021. Okay. So we already, EriPCo, as Heikel has mentioned, is a nonprofit organization that has been registered in the state of Alabama. We already have our EIN number, that's employee identification number, that we have to apply to IRAs. So, but there are still some organizational framework and documentations that we still need to be working on. The first one being is our bylaw. And for anyone who is not very familiar with what a bylaw means, it's basically a documentation that will have all the procedures and rules that EriPCo has to follow. EriPCo as an organization and as a nonprofit organization has to follow to do its daily operations. And also we are in the process of applying our 501c status. This will help us to be tax exempted from the federal government if we have a donation, if we have a fundraising, or we are applying for a grant. Whatever money we get will be tax exempted. We also are in the process of applying for tax identification number and account number in the state of Alabama, as well as applying for Alabama Charitable Organization registration exemption. If we want to have a fundraising in Alabama, we have to be registered. So that's something what we need to do. And other plans that we have for the coming 6 months is create a database of Eritrean pharmacists and pharmacy students. This will help us understand how many Eritrean pharmacists are in the world, basically. And the next plan is we are going to develop a website for EriPCo and enhance a diverse member recruitment, engagement, and making sure the members that we have are going to stay with EriPCo for long and they're happy. Conduct a needs assessment. This is basically to figure out, okay, if we have a proposal, based on the proposals we have, the needs we have, we will figure out which proposal, which project needs to be taken care of in the coming 6 months or in the next 6 months of the 2021. And team building activities. If you are in the EriPCo Facebook page, one of the team building activities that we are doing is we are asking Eritrean pharmacists or pharmacy students to send us their picture and let us know which of the EriPCo core values resonate with them. What we're aiming is to introduce each other and to show that, hey, this is an Eritrean pharmacist, and we're not including where they are, but at least we know there are Eritrean pharmacists in different fields. And as Heikel has said, we are many. It's just we need to show each other that there are many that like us, and we need to work together. And next will be our Q&A session, and it will be moderated by Abnet. Abnet.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abnet. I'll be moderating the question and answer session. Just to give you a little bit background, I am a live witness of what EriPCo is. When I was coming here, when I was in China, I always have maintain contact with this lady in here, and it helped me a lot. And before even I get in here, I knew what I was going to do. And like there was no confusion because I was blessed to have my friends here who proceed me in whatever the procedure was. So despite the setbacks, like my route was like relatively smooth because I had all the guidance. that's all about it. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask. And I think Haikal, you can unmute your mics maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Just to give a summary, basically with what Ariam said, those open vacancies that we have for committee chairs, there is just one requirement that you have to be an active voting member to be a chair. So we are going to send some membership guidelines and the membership application form in the next few days. And we do hope that you will join us. And if there's any question, we will answer them accordingly. But for now, if you can introduce yourselves, and we would love to hear from you as well. So just let us know your names and any message that you have and your questions, basically. So I am going to unmute everyone now.